Rick and Morty mysteriously teases out Season 4. It's been 1 long year and 7 long months since Rick and Morty graced our TVs, laptops, and tablets, covering us with all the Szechuan sauce Evil Mortys and Beth clones they could cram into a 22-minute episode. And while Adult Swim has been dropping small videos throughout this nearly 2-year-long drought to keep our appetites satiated, our lives haven't been the same without the titular mad scientist grandpa and his grandson. But it looks like the boys are going to be back sooner than we thought, because on Wednesday, Adult Swim released a short teaser of Rick and Morty informing us of their official return. Now, the video was posted on the Adult Swim Cartoon Network socials and featured Rick and Morty on a black background, bantering back and forth about who should make the official announcement.
Morty, do you want to make the announcement, or?
No. I don't want to make the announcement.
All right, okay, I'll do it.
And though Rick does eventually spill the beans,
Rick and Morty is back, brand new season 4. In November 2019, this year.
There does seem to be a cautious optimism to the news of their return.
Man, I can't believe we're back. We're gonna be back,
With Rick even taking a second to pull a swig from his flask. So what exactly does this teaser mean, and what does it tell us? Honestly, that Rick and Morty is back in November of 2019, and that's it. Bye. Naturally, fans and critics alike are excited for the show to return, but there were those who were upset over the lack of details, Easter eggs, or any information beyond the date hidden within the teaser. Hell, the whole thing is just them on a black background, as if the producers were trying to hide anything and everything. However, we think it's the lack of details in this spot that tells us that the Rick and Morty team must be playing this season very close to the vest. When we got word last May that the show had been picked up for a whopping 70-episode pickup, and that creators Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon would be attached for the extension as well, this was huge news. Getting a renewal of this size delivered a creative goldmine for the staff to allow them to tell a massive story without fear of getting the axe. In fact, Justin Roiland spoke to Polygon about this freedom last year. We're super excited that, for the first time ever, we're locked in, we know what the future is, we have job security. Roiland added, Harmon is in great spirits, we have a great writer's room, we want the episodes to stay good, but we do also want to try to turn them around a little quicker now that we have this big order. I think it gives us the ability to be faster. We're not going to do these long breaks, these chasms in between seasons anymore. Honestly, this sounds fantastic to us. There have been plenty of plot threads and storylines from the show that had to be truncated or dropped in the past due to the short seasons of Rick and Morty we've seen before, but now with an enormous sandbox, Roiland and Harmon will be able to pick up and resolve these threads. In fact, let's break down 3 of those unanswered plots from Rick and Morty's run so far. Number 1, the Evil Morty storyline. Evil Morty first appeared in Season 1 and popped up again to wreak havoc in Season 3. While there are many theories about Evil Morty's origins, like maybe he was raised by the original Rick and abandoned for unknown reasons, the show is clearly setting up Evil Morty as one of, if not its only big bad, and we're hoping to see how Rick and Morty try to take down Evil Morty in Season 4 and beyond. Number 2, Beth's clone. We remember in Season 3 the offer that Rick made Beth, basically creating a clone to stay behind in the real world and take the original Beth through the multiverse and beyond. However, we never got to see what Beth decided. Is Beth a clone? Has the real Beth disappeared into time and space? Rick and Morty is bound to address these possibilities in the new runs of episodes. And finally, number 3, who is Rick's wife? We haven't gotten a ton of specific backstory for Rick beyond the fact that he is miserable. Something must have gone down with his missing wife, impacting both Rick and Beth, since we also saw the repercussions on Beth's childhood in the ABCs of Beth. Rick and Morty definitely plays with viewer expectations, so no matter how this gets resolved, it'll be twisted and bittersweet. So there you have it. Rick and Morty will be coming back to TV in just a few short months, and we're excited to see how these questions are answered and so many more. But what do you folks think? What do you think is in store for Rick and Morty's new episodes? What storylines do you think they'll resolve? And will we see Pickle Rick again? Pickle Rick! It's been too long since we've said that. Let's discuss. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and mash that little bell to get notified every time we go live with the show or drop a new video. Also, make sure to check out the final episode of our Game of Thrones after show, All Kings Considered, live this Monday at noon Pacific on Nerdist YouTube and Geek and Sundry's Twitch.